All right, we're gonna make a necklace today based on this previous one I've made with the single simple claw clasp and a pendant like this. Today we're gonna use this little arrowhead, and we're gonna use, I think this will be a fun combination. I got these glass beads, different colors. I think that'll be fun. So that's what we're gonna roll with. I have this 19 strand wire. I've already cut it to the length I want. Got the ends out. And little clamps. It's been a while since I've done this, so I believe I used 2 on each side. So pull 2 of these out. Absolute hobbyist at all this, but for a while I was doing a lot of them, and I don't know, it's good, it's relaxing. So put the clamp, wire clamp, like I said, I used 2, I believe. I'm gonna take a look at my previous one. Yeah, so it looks like I used smaller ones on this. And I've worn this like every day for like the last year. And it's lasted pretty well. I did use 2 clamps on this on each side. And it might have been the smaller ones. Let's get those out and see if they work. Like I said, absolute hobbyist at all this. So I'm not like versed in all of the sizes and whatnot. Millimeters, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, so it looks like these smaller ones will work. The question is, can you make a loop, double it back? Let's see. Then you double it back, make your little loop. Just barely gonna work with this. Perfect. And that's what you want. You want it to be nice and tight. Probably don't even need 2, but I'm still gonna use 2. I believe if I hold this here, my little grip, be able to pull this through and make it tighter. There we go. Now this got a little frayed, so if I clip it back, might be able to make it neater to go through the second crimp. It's right there. There we go. So again, I doubled this up just for extra security. Probably could have got away with 1, but this one that I made previously, like I said, it's held up so well. Just go ahead and try to do the same thing. All right, so now I have the 2 crimps, wire crimps, I guess they're called, in place. I'm gonna use, and nice and even, the cable's back on itself, it's not twisted. You got these nifty little crimp pliers. So you want to put those right in the middle. Make sure the wire is not twisted. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Probably not. Before you clamp down, make sure it's not twisted. And 2 crimps, and then you can use the other part of the pliers here in the front to bend them back on top of themselves. But you don't want to bend them too much because they'll lose their strength. But there you go. One side secure. So now I'm just going to use these miscellaneous. I'm not gonna make a pattern, I'm just gonna go for it because they're so colorful. See what happens here. I'm gonna use this as my guide for the length because I'll probably end up wearing this one until somebody likes it and then I give it to them. That's usually how this goes. All right, here we go. This started as a hobby, I don't know, year and a half or so. I started working on, I don't have any up here. First started working with bead bracelets because I could never find any small enough. They were always too big from the store. So I'd end up customizing them. And I was like, why don't I just start from scratch and make what I want? And then that led into figuring out how to make the necklaces. And you can see I got lots of variations of beads. And so I do have fun in my free time just being creative that way. It's good for my hands too, as a guitar player. Got to keep these fingers moving. I've had injuries over the years, different kinds of injuries from broken wrists to torn tendons. So doing stuff like this is really good for my dexterity. And it's just good for your brain to just kind of unwind. I never really listen to music when I do this, and I listen to music constantly. But when I do this kind of stuff, it's nice to just zone out, get creative. So yeah, I came across these, this set of beads, and I thought this was just fun. It's just, they're glass and they're random colors. And I found this today, a little, I don't know what that is called, the material. Dope. Beads everywhere. But yeah, so I've done pieces for, like custom orders. People are like, hey, can you do this, XYZ? I'm like, sure, figure that out. But mostly I just freeform it, and then if I'm at a gig, somebody likes what I got, sell it to them or give it to them, whatever. I'm happy to pay it forward. All right, so here we are at the end, and I want to make sure this bead goes all the way up. Sweet. It tucks into the double back, so it's nice and tight right there. That's good. Do you like my official terminology? The double back? I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, so the other part of doing all this when I first started, so again, was to customize things to fit myself, but also I was having a hard time musically because I'm a singer for a living and I lost my voice to COVID. And so this was kind of my therapy and my outlet during that time. I lost my voice for like a good year before it really got back to working condition. I'm still a little struggle, but overall I'm pretty good. All right, so I'm using this old one to gauge, so that's about halfway. So then I'm gonna add my little pendant. What's nice about this particular setup is there's no left or right, wrong, correct. The pendant's just gonna hang out in the center there. I am a little OCD about the center, so what I'll try to do is at least find similar beads to match these coming up to the other side. Then it's just gonna go random again. I'm organized, but not that organized. Looks like a green with the blue in the middle. There we go. Little blue pinwheel. Looks like a yellow. Do I have another of those? I think it's this one. Close enough. I get my beads from all over the place. From, go to Michael's. We have a Michael's around here. We have a Joanne Fabrics. I'll still get some things online. But since I really don't know what I'm doing, sometimes getting online is not smart because I buy the wrong stuff. Plus, it's just fun to go to the store because, to lay your eyes on it, it's more helpful sometimes. Like how I found this set of glass beads. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, I think. I've watched a lot of tutorials on bead making. It seems like there's some common ground, but there's also just, oops, see, I doubled this one up. I don't want two in a row. See, I'm a little OCD, just a little. Yeah, there's common grounds for like, certain techniques or whatever, but looks like there's also just a lot of room for interpretation. Whatever you can make work with what you have. And I'm kind of the same way when it comes to my music. There's a vocabulary, but it's all about you putting it together the way you want it to work for yourself. All right, getting close here. Let's do it again. Put two in a row. No one's never gonna know. They're never gonna know. I will know, and it will drive me crazy. All right, getting close. Do you like my official measuring? I'm like, it looks about right. We're getting there. I think this was about 3 sets, 3 strands. I think they call them strands to make this one. So yeah, by the time I put, I bet I can take this one off. Didn't even check the camera. Let's see. Get that. Put that top. By the time I put the clip on, should be about, let's see, that's gonna go, and maybe I could put that one back on. So this is the tricky part, getting the opposite side on. So realized I can use the smaller crimps, crimps. Yeah, we can use the smaller ones. So let's grab 2 of those. Bam-bity bam. All right. Let's see if we can get this rolling. I got a lot of extra here. I know I'm not going to need all of this, so I'm going to cut some back. Not too much though, if we want enough to work with. So, put the little put the little crimps on. Yes, crimps. I'm going for 2 again on this side. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can do it. I like to use these, they're jump rings, right? But these ones don't have a split. So I don't know what exactly that means. If they have a term for that. I just don't like the ones that have a split because I always feel like you're gonna come undone. All right, so then we bring it back on itself through the crimps. And these barely work for this 19 strand to go through twice. But we're gonna make it work. Just gotta get it started. Okay, through the first one. Nice. Now through the second one. It starts to get a little frayed because it has like a plastic coating on it. So just gonna trim some of the end off, make it clean. That should help feed it through. All right, and we're good. Now we got both through. Now I just gotta tighten it up. It might be more work than other people do. I don't know. I've never really paid that close attention, but like I said, I did the same thing with this other one, and I've worn it almost every day for like a year. So might be overkill, but it's working. So I can pull it back on itself. I believe there's a trick. You can do this too. You can hold this and pull it back on itself. So that makes it tighter that way. And then we're learning, people. We're experimenting together. There we go. I don't want to make it too tight. I want this to be able to move around. And when I cut this back, I'm going to cut it so that I can still feed it, hopefully, through the green bead, if that makes sense. Leaving a little here to feed back through. And these aren't tightened yet, right? But you knew that because you didn't see me tighten them yet. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna cut this one back. Now, can we tuck it? I might need to cut it back a little more. Can I tuck it down? The green bead is the question. Just a little further. Bam. All right. And now we can crimp them. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like the wire's not twisted in on itself. So you get a wire on each fold. What I mean by that is here's the crimp. You got a wire smooth on this side and a wire smooth on that side. Then you can bend them back. And theoretically, there we go. So it's nice and tight, not too much extra there. And there we have it. A fun little necklace. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'll see what I can come up with for the next one.